Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well, and I am so thankful to have you here with me today. My name is Ethan, and in this video, I'll be doing something a little different, more eccentric, creative. Basically, during the full moon in Cancer that we had the other day, I had some wild dreams. I mean dreams inside of dreams inside of dreams. So when I woke up the next morning, I wrote all of my dreams out in my journal, and I've been compiling it all into a creative short story to share with you all, because I think it's more authentic and it's better than having AI create a story for you, you know? Like, I think we're all sick and tired of just the AI stories, even though I kind of use AI for the pictures on this. Don't kill me. I don't want to witch hunt. But the story is from my own subconscious, and I'm actually really proud of it. But before I get into it, there were a couple of themes that were recurring in each of the dreams, and I thought it was really interesting because it related to emotions, safety, and sensitivity with that Cancer full moon that we had. And Poseidon was also in the dream. And I don't subscribe to Greek mythology, but there is a tarot card in the dream with Poseidon's face on it. The tarot card was vivid blue with the ocean on it. Like, I'd never seen it before in real life, but even now, like 2-3 days later, I can still remember that tarot card. If I was a better artist, I could actually recreate it. Like, I could draw it out. If you could read my brain, you would be able to see it. And I just felt like with that tarot card in the dream, with Poseidon, with that full moon in Cancer, all of it, you know, Poseidon being ruler of the ocean and storms and emotional depth as well as Cancer, it felt kind of prophetic. Not to put myself on a pedestal, it just really felt prophetic to the point where I needed to actually write it down and create this and share it with the world. I don't know. May have also be the fact that Jupiter is in my sign of Cancer with expansion, and I really don't know. All I know is that I have to share this with you all, and I just feel guided to do this. So enough of me. Let's go ahead and get into the story, everyone, if you made it this far. So it's called Poseidon and the Tarot Card Between Realms. I began the dream where all timelines seemed to begin, my childhood home. The walls still held the echo of old laughter and memories past. It was a peaceful evening. The only light source in this scene came from the TV. My grandma and I sat on the couch with a bowl of candy between us. With my brother nearby, the three of us were suspended in a version of time that didn't really exist. The astral realm felt real, too real. It was vivid. I could use my 5 senses. I started to wonder if I had gone back in time, to my childhood home. Meanwhile, I continued to snack on the bowl of candy without thinking. One piece, then another, until I realized too late that I had eaten all of the candy. There was none left for my grandma. Panic and embarrassment set in swiftly, but quietly. So before she noticed, I slipped out into the night and walked toward the nearby gas station to restock our snacks. The street was empty and hushed like a held breath. The only light source in this realm was that of a faint red glow in the night sky. The gas station was vacant, its windows dark, but a lone vending machine stood out front. The only significant source of light in this entire city came from the glowing green money slot on that vending machine. It was pulsing softly, like a heartbeat or a portal. It was inviting me in closer. I could not ignore it. The vending machine was out of order, so I needed to make it back home quickly. As I walked through the quiet streets, the neon green light emitting from that cash slot was all I could think about. When I returned home, the house had rearranged itself into something gentler. My family was asleep. An energy of tranquility and safety filled the room. I knew then that the morning was coming and work was calling me back to the waking timeline. I quietly walked into the bathroom to get ready for work, still not aware that I was in a dream. That's when I saw the tarot card. It laid on the bathroom sink counter, impossibly vivid, soaked in ocean blue, a tarot card that I had never seen before. But Poseidon stared back at me from its surface. His trident raised, eyes ancient and unblinking, his beard. The symbolism pressed into my chest all at once. Poseidon, ruler of the unconscious, god of emotional depths, storms, and hidden power. He governs not just the sea, but the chaos beneath calm surfaces. The feelings we suppress. The forces that surge when boundaries dissolve. He is creation and destruction in the same tide. I wasn't sure if this tarot card was a warning or a peaceful sign. This entire time, I was still immersed within the dream, unaware that in the waking world, a completely different dimension, the Cancer full moon was on full display for all to see. As a Cancer myself, I'm fully aware that Cancer governs deep emotional depth, sensitivity, and intuition. Was this a prophetic dream? Was I being shown something from Poseidon himself? And even in the waking world, I can't help but to wonder if his presence in my dream had a genuine significance or not. Nevertheless, it didn't really matter, because I was still immersed within the astral plane. I still needed to get ready for work within this dream, so I stepped into the shower. On the ledge, where shampoo should have been, sat a small wind-up carousel toy. Without being touched, it began to turn, slowly at first, then faster, chiming out warped nursery music that echoed too loudly against the bathroom tiles. The melody felt wrong, like a memory that did not belong to me. I pulled the shower curtain back slightly to check my surroundings. My iPhone laid on the counter, glitching violently. Lines of code tore across the screen. Music layered over voices were playing. Siri spoke in fragments, overlapping herself, like multiple timelines trying to speak through one device at one time. Then the shower curtain moved. It reached for me. I screamed for my mom, but the fabric had wrapped around my arms, my chest, my breath, ripping me out of the bathroom and into another life entirely. The vivid blue ocean-themed Poseidon tarot card was the only thing that I could remember. I then found myself outside of a gated neighborhood that felt frozen in the 1980s. I didn't have a physical body, but I could see and hear. The air was thick with cigarette smoke and dust. It was a dry, chilly day, but you could feel the tension in the air. You could feel the emotions. An elderly black woman stood at the gate, giving a speech to a gathered crowd. Her voice trembled as she spoke about exhaustion, about being financially crushed, about choosing between heat for the winter, food, prescription medications, or auto repairs. She was pleading for a chance at survival, a chance at safety. She just wanted compassion and comfort. She cried, but the audience laughed at her. The sound hit me like static, like I'd stumbled into a distorted reality TV show, where suffering was entertainment. I felt myself lifting, separating from my body. Astral and unanchored, the gate behind her shimmered, and before I could intervene to emotionally nurture her in the chaos, I slipped through the veil, falling again. The emotions in this dream state were overwhelming. Was Poseidon, ruler of the ocean, storms, and earthquakes, somehow sending me through an introspective journey into the vast and turbulent emotional depths? Was the Cancer full moon actually trying to shine light on an emotional imbalance that I needed clarity about? The next phase was a blur, but I found myself inside the grocery store that I worked at back in 2018. It was the Bilo in Lexington, South Carolina. My mom and stepdad were with me, but the atmosphere was tense and aggressive. Prices were absurd. Numbers didn't make sense. Basic groceries totaled $700, even $800. The checkout lines wrapped around the building. People snapped at each other in the aisles, fear shimmering beneath every interaction. Inflation was not just economic here. It was emotional. The emotions ran deep. In this realm, inflation and imbalance were the rulers. Everything costs too much. Is this a prophetic warning of what's to come? Is this just my subconscious processing anxiety? Was I shown this vision in the astral for a reason? The store lights flickered, I blinked, and then found myself at my current job. At this point, I felt so out of sync and distorted. What is happening, I thought to myself. Am I shifting dimensions? Am I in a wormhole? Will I come back to my original timeline when this is all over with? What was the significance of that ocean-themed Poseidon tarot card? When will this end? I was actually becoming aware of the fact that I was inside of a dream. I found myself standing at my current job. I had been forced into a Christmas tree decorating competition that I had never agreed to enter. My opponents were flashy, shallow, excessively arrogant billionaires. Their trees were flawless, professionally adorned, dripping with gold, silver, and excess. Mine was humbler, by comparison, quietly defiant, but mine was authentic, and it had character. Unfortunately, it's survival of the richest in this timeline. After the contest, my supervisor handed me a wrapped gift for participating in the competition. Once I unwrapped the gift, I found a bag of Halloween candy. Out of season, out of place. Was it a joke? A message? I stared at it, confused. The timelines were overlapping now. Celebration colliding with scarcity. Reward colliding with irony. All I could think about was the duality of the cosmos, but still, that vivid blue tarot card with Poseidon stuck with me. The universe shifted around me again, but this time I was in the forest next to my job, so I hadn't traveled far. I actually felt a sense of peace, until a white-tailed deer walked up to me and gave birth to a dog. I genuinely had no idea what was going on. Am I in hell? I asked myself. Unfortunately, due to my nonchalant sense of humor, I just laughed about it. The dog grew up quickly. It barked relentlessly. His barks were sharp and desperate. Chaos followed as it ran wild through the forest. My coworker and I finally got him into the passenger seat of my truck. I took the dog home, heart already attached. However, the inflation from the previous timeline had followed me into this one. I couldn't afford to care for the dog in this realm, and no one wanted to take him. The state government required me to surrender the dog to a local pound, and the emotional turmoil returned. I didn't want another living being to be discarded between the timelines. While driving home from the pound, my tears soaked through the dream. The sky cracked open with a brilliant teal-blue hail core, surrounded by the darkest storm clouds imaginable. The surrounding sky was a deep red, but the storm quickly engulfed the entire dreamscape. The sky burned teal, unnatural and electric. Hail fell from a glowing core in the clouds, slamming into the road like signals from another realm. The storm felt alive, sentient, like Poseidon himself needed to make this message clear. I woke up in a hurry, knowing one thing, that I hadn't just been dreaming. I had been traveling through the astral, through dimensions, weaving through the cracks of timelines. I immediately took notes of these dreams, but the glowing green money slot on the vending machine and the vivid blue Poseidon tarot card were the two main symbols that stuck with me. Thank you.